Hi there, Librans. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we are looking at March 6th through March 12th. What is happening this week is that Mars, the planet of energy, stamina, action, is leaving Aries and moving into Taurus, which is a whole different kettle of fish. Aries is the sign of action, of go get 'em, of stamina, of energy. Taurus is the sign that you share Venus with, and it's a slow moving, plodding along earth sign. So, a very different scenario. And with Mars in Taurus, it could be somewhat of a holdup. It could mean that you don't feel as if, all the momentum you've had while Mars and Venus and Uranus have been in Aries is going to slow down a little bit. It's a bit of a go slow, proceed with caution sign time. And you may need to find a little nap time this week with a Virgo full moon transiting your 12th house of past karma, secrets, and self renewal. Maybe you've been holding on to something, Librans, that you should not have been holding on to that really isn't such a big deal. And you'll finally realize that and be able to let it go, hopefully. It's important that you try and that you really try to do that because sometimes little dramas and catastrophes and secrets, if they build and if we feel like we're not coming clean and we're constantly lying to somebody, it can be detrimental to our health and well-being, and it can weigh on your mind more than necessary. And because you're always trying to please everyone and keep the balance and the harmony, you could be holding on to stuff that people have asked you to hold on to. And meanwhile, it's kind of out there, it's kind of common knowledge. You saying something now is not going to bring down, the Roman Empire type thing. So definitely something to think about and not to take on board too seriously. When people say, promise you're not going to tell so and so, it really is putting the moz on you, because if it's something that you feel needs to be said or clarified or fixed, you're the first one to jump in and do that. But if someone says, don't tell, swear that you won't tell anybody and all that, I think sometimes it's very passive aggressive to do that. If you tell somebody something, you could sort of say, listen, I'd really like it if you kept that between us. But to tell someone, don't tell so and so, like to single out a person in particular, and that person you're a friend with, it can make things tricky. So that's the Virgo full moon, and that's issues you'll be dealing with over the next 2 weeks. And we've also got Mercury spending his last week in Pisces before moving into Aries next week, which is going to be a much better position for you. There's a lot of fantasy talk and things aren't really getting done. People will say something and not necessarily follow through. Well, with Mercury and the Sun, Venus, and Uranus all setting up in Aries, things are going to change. Now, don't forget that Venus remains out of phase through mid-April in Aries, your ruler. And so if you're in a love relationship and in a bit of a conundrum, it will work itself out. But this is just a time to reflect, rethink, revalue, restock, take. Thanks so much for checking in, and I'll speak to you again next week.